I'm Kate Wendelton, CEO of the 5 O'Clock Club. This is our 49th HR Network Breakfast. We have a great program for you today, and as you can see, we have a packed house. I want to say that we owe it to our HR customers, that is the HR professionals who use us for executive coaching or for outplacement. It's because of them that we are able to put on these events for free, these terrific events for free. And so we just want to applaud our HR customers for, using us and allowing you to have this. Our HR customers are heroes in their organization for having chosen the 5 O'Clock Club. We get so many thank you notes a day from HR professionals. And you can be a hero too. Think about this. Every employee in your organization gets 1 year of outplacement. Even the lowest level clerk gets 1 year of outplacement. Who does that? Who does that? The prices are ridiculously cheap. It costs, the same as a 2-day seminar elsewhere. Senior execs, for a price that's very affordable, can have 3 years of outplacement, including 62 hours of private coaching guaranteed and 3 years of small group strategy sessions. Why do we do that? We do that because they need it. They need it to turn that job search coaching into on-the-job coaching that can last for, a few years. The typical senior exec at the year and a half point is having problems in his or her job. And so that 3-year program might sound ridiculous, but guess what? They choose it. They choose it over space. They would rather have that kind of on-the-job coaching. Guess what? If they lose that job, they don't like that job, and this goes for everybody. If they lose their next job, don't like that next job, we help them find another one. Who does that? Nobody does that. Plus, the package can be extended for any reason. That is, a person takes a consulting assignment, they decide to take care of some family issues, whatever. They can extend their package. We automatically extend the package by 6 months and then another 6 months. By the way, this goes for retail clients as well. I'll tell you about retail in a minute. You're going to hear from one of them. We report to you monthly on the status of the person's search. Are they using your money well or are they not? And so we track them down. If they're not showing up, we track them down. What are they, sitting home depressed? Look, this is the opposite of the typical outplacement mentality, which is we're here if you need us. We're here, call us if you need us. And if you don't call us, well, I hate to say it, so much the better. Anyway, that's not true for everybody, but I'll tell you how many people track people down. We track down your employees and say, how are you doing? Do you need a different coach? How are you feeling? Why don't you come on back? Nobody else does that. And you get a monthly report to make sure your money is being well spent. And speaking of spending money well, we pay our coaches 3 to 4 times what they would earn at a traditional outplacement firm. And this means that we can insist that our coaches go through a 4-month certification process so they can unlearn the things they think they know about coaching and job search and executive coaching and learn instead what the research proves. This also means that our coaches are incented to want to work with your employees as opposed to fine, show up, don't show up. We're paying them from $110 to $200 an hour, and they only get paid when they work with your employees. So that's quite an incentive. Need I say more? No, I need not say more, but I will say more. We're going to hear in 1 second from John Urdaneta, who was a retail client. Now, historically, half of those who attend the club come in on their own. They are self-referred. And why do we do that? We do that because, we want to make this terrific service available to the general public, not just to those whose companies provide outplacement. That's number one. And number two, it's a healthier environment. It's a healthier environment for the job hunter to have a mix of self-referred people as well as people who are sent by their employers. Also, by the way, we don't kick people out when they're having a long, difficult search. We don't say, oh, well, bye, we've done our best, you're on your own. No. We try to get them back. We extend their time. Who else does that? Nobody else does that. Oh, well, let's hear from John right now. Just as you would hear him report at the club on his successful search. So John Urdaneta, let's give him a round of applause for coming here and reporting today. Yay! That's what we do at the club, too. We give him applause.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is John Urdaneta. I'm a senior IT professional with over 11 years of experience, 8 of which has been at the Big Four, PricewaterhouseCoopers, Ernst & Young, delivering global, regional, and country solutions on the Microsoft and IBM technologies. I have a proven track record working closely with the executives and partners, and I recently accepted an offer at Ernst & Young as a technical lead. So how did I learn about the 5 O'Clock Club? I was at Ernst & Young. I've been there actually for quite some time now as a contractor, as a consultant. And about a year ago, there was a company policy to cut back on the consultants. And they were going to, specifically within IT at that time, they were going to start bringing in an offshore vendor. I found out about the club. I'd heard about it many years before, but never attended. And I decided this time I wanted to attend because I heard so much about it. When I attended the club and started, went through the lectures and the books, I started to learn more about like a methodology on career planning and job searching, which I found very structured and interesting. Then in my mind, I went through, they have some exercises like the 7 stories, the 40-year vision, which gave me confidence and provided some guidance on my decisions. And initially I decided, you know what, I want to work in Colombia. There's like the emerging markets, somewhere I could use my skills and my passion. My parents are from Colombia. I was born here in New York. And then through the small groups and the information exchange was also part of the first hour. I was able to develop my targets through networking contacts and also through starting to participate in networking associations. In the meantime, I also networked heavily at Ernst & Young. And at the very last day, since I was networking, I got my name out there, and I had more confidence, and I was actually connecting with people. I landed a project on the very last day that I was going to get let go as a consultant. Literally. Got a call like at 3 p.m. Do you know this technology? I'm like, yes, I'm excellent. Okay, good. You're staying. And initially, I was an application engineer on the project, and then I moved up and actually became the technical lead on the project. And I still attended the sessions, and I still, actually, I was using the sessions even to help me with my current job situations, not just for my job search. And then they approached me with some interest, and they said, they wanted me to, apply, but I was still working, and I wasn't sure yet because I still had, this vision out to work in Colombia. And then I went ahead and applied it anyway because, after a while, them asking you, they're not going to wait for you forever, right? So I applied, and then I went through, through the interview process, and I used a lot of the techniques I learned at the 5 O'Clock Club, such as think like a consultant, determine what the objections are, and follow up with what are called influencing letters, not follow-up letters, and then finally the salary negotiations, where I actually got a lot of help from my coach Chip. And essentially, especially with the salary negotiations, they teach you to always say it's not a problem. It's not a defer it to the end, and I did that successfully. And I'm very happy with my offer, and I started on April 4th. And And even though I'm on Ernst & Young, what I'm taking away from this, it wasn't just finding another job, which I was doing before, which is jumping from contract to contract. Now I feel I have more focus and actually a career path, which is something I think nowadays you don't really get from companies, and you have to do it on your own. And I feel that the 5 O'Clock Club has given me these life skills that I'm going to continue using in my life. And now through Ernst & Young, I'm going to try and figure out how to get to Columbia. Oh, thank you so much.
It's funny, that's what we say. Landing that first job doesn't mean success. We want to know what the person's dream is, and we want to keep on working with them. Let's hear from Chip Conlon, who was John's coach.
I actually like standing up here because it means another one of our members landed, which is always good news. At the 5 O'Clock Club, one of the presentations that we give is on advanced interviewing techniques. And we talk about the importance of taking on the role of consultant, both in preparing for and actually going on the interview. And no one could have done that better than John did. In fact, as he mentioned to you, he actually was a consultant when he started out there. And as a consultant and internal to the company, he was able to work his contacts, and he was able to really determine what the needs and values of the company were. And that really best positioned him for the position he's in right now in their IT services area. Right, John? The other thing John was able to do in his role as consultant was to determine who his competition was, and believe me, there wasn't much. He really was the lead candidate almost from the beginning. And also he was able to determine if there might be any objections about his candidacy. And again, there really weren't any. And I think most importantly, as John touched about at the end, he was able to show his new management that he could be a real good negotiator and get the best possible offer on the table for himself. And as we like to say in that role of consultant, he wasn't too quick to close the deal. And so he's really established himself and positioned himself for what I'm sure Ernst & Young is going to see as one of their future leaders. And I'm pretty confident that we're looking at a future partner at Ernst & Young. Terrific job.
Well, that's how it goes at the 5 o'clock club for those who are job searching. Of course, we also do executive coaching, but we can't have those people come up because of confidentiality. But let's take care of you if you are in between jobs. If you are an unemployed HR professional, even if you are an outplacement elsewhere, well, of course, especially if you are an outplacement elsewhere, you should take advantage of what we have to offer here. You come for free. We'll give you the books, the CDs, and free coaching. All you need to do is take out the blue form that's in the front of your folder, plop your name tag on it, and write "in transition." Hand it in when you're leaving. And then we'll contact you about getting you into the coaching and getting the books to you and all of that sort of thing. If you are employed and would like to see the coaching in action, not the private one-on-one coaching, but small group strategy sessions, I'll tell you, you will be blown away. You can be a fly on the wall at the club. Just do the same thing. Take your name tag, put it on here, and hand it in when you leave. Of course, don't mark in transition. But anyway, we'll come and we'll let you observe the actual coaching at the club. And so you can be a fly on the wall and experience it for yourself. End of commercial about the 5 o'clock club. There are 5 seats on the stage. And, you know, if you would just file up right now, and Michael, if you would help people file up, and Miguel, if you would help people file up, they could sit on the stage, because guess what? There's going to be more people standing in the back, too, who will be coming in late. So this is the time to come on up and grab a seat. You don't want to miss this from all the way back there. Okay. On June 17th, our next event is Hot Legal Issues That Affect HR. It's going to be a terrific topic. We'll let you know about it next week. I assure you that it will be enlightening and entertaining. So thank you for coming, and thank you for allowing us to be part of your professional lives. On with the main event, Rob Hellman, who you met earlier. He's VP and Associate Director of the 5 o'clock Club's National Guild of Career Coaches. He's going to moderate today's panel. Take notes. You have a notepad in your folder. You can follow along with the handouts from the speakers. And take it away, Rob. Here we go.